the poor MVP award. I throw it in the garbage if I got it. I just throw it in the trash. Can Jared Goff overtake Allen in the MVP race?
Well, does that mean go to number one?
Yeah.
Because he has to jump Saquon and Lamar and
he's
tied with Lamar.
Right.
He just has to jump Saquon and Josh.
But move past Lamar. Like I think the only way he becomes number one is if he has a spectacular game. It maybe should be if he goes out there and has 4 touchdowns, 300 yards, something like that. I think Josh could move back with a bad game. Remember, Josh didn't do much against Baltimore. They got blown out. He had no touchdowns. 9 for 30 against Houston. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing up the good teams. These are Houston, he was terrible. Baltimore, he was And then if you don't play well against Detroit,
Kansas City
played great. But that's one to use your terminology, that's their Super Bowl.
Yes.
He got up for the Chiefs, but some of these other big games, he hasn't. Now he was good against the Rams. But the Rams are now coming. They were struggling. They're middling at that point. So if he has a bad game, he could move back. And then what does Saquon do? What if Saquon goes out there against Pittsburgh and runs for more than 110, like 160 against that defense? And then Lamar, they're playing the Giants. If Lamar goes out there and puts up huge numbers, I get it. It's the Giants. But he's third for a reason. They'll be 9 and 5. I get that's not great, but his numbers are spectacular. So if Goff is like they win, but he's okay, he doesn't do much, I could see him maybe moving past Josh, but not these other guys.
So my fun contract stat for this is it does mean something to Josh Allen. He gets $1.5 million if he's named the MVP.
Hello.
By either the Sporting News, the Pro Football Writers of America,
the one that counts as the Associated
or the AP. Well,
that's the only
he built his contract so if he gets named MVP
by
any of those,
he was smart. He was smart. And you might get one from those. Some other publications.
He gets $1.5 million, and I think that the tough thing for Goff is he gets purdied a lot, where everybody talks about everybody else in Detroit. So it's Dan Campbell, it's the receivers, it's the O-line, it's the defense.
The great players on the team.
Well, look, he's played really well, but he's never. It's always somebody else, regardless of how good he plays. And that 5-pick game really, to me, hurts your MVP ballot because it's so bad.
But also,
and they won.
Bad.
Do you agree with Brew that it hurts?
Yeah, so it reinforces the other.
Right.
Wiles hates that team so much.
It would have been
Is
better if he had
Baltimore, Philadelphia, or Buffalo winning with their MVP candidate having a game like that?
It would have been better for him to lose.
No,
it would have been. Because Josh Allen had one of the worst games of all time. They got blown out.
Hold on. We're conflating the two things. Because he was 9 of 30 against Houston, right?
Yeah,
Not
against Houston.
So they lost that game by 3 points, and that wasn't one of the worst games of all time overall. It was specifically from a completion percentage standpoint.
He threw the ball, and people caught it. He threw the...
He had the lowest completion percentage in a 30-attempt game of all time. That is true.
It's one of the worst games of all time.
So I disagree with you.
5
but we can. Yeah, I mean, I think
they won the game. Well, one guy won the game. It couldn't be that bad.
Okay.
The other guy he threw the ball. He's like, I'm going to throw the ball to this guy. And it happened the least.
Okay.
Ever.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that was worse than any Will Levis game? All of the Will Levis games?
Will Levis was like concentrated bad.
Okay. All right.
It was just like one thing that was.
Okay. So listen, I don't like how MVP in the NFL is done now. But because of how it's done now, the answer is absolutely yes. Like one of the reasons I have such an allergy to your ridiculous Russell Wilson is in the mix or in the conversation or whatever.
He's at the bottom of the pyramid.
Because honestly, I can see that happening.
Yes.
I can see by the end of the year people being like, well, he is 9-2 when they plays, and and Jared gave kind of a nod to it. He's like, well, if you're a quarterback on a good team, you're one of the candidates. Yeah. And it's also why a guy who I think should firmly be in the mix, who I know he's third in odds, but I think has no chance of winning it, and I don't like that, is Lamar. I think Lamar, it's flatly, they have 5 losses, he's out of it. Like, I know Vegas is still keeping him alive.
Out of the
no, I don't think he should. I think he actually is. I don't think there's any chance Lamar wins the award.
I know because you're saying, like, what, the last several, how many winners have been first or second seed? But that could change. It's changed in the NBA. You know, lower seeds are now winning.
Yeah, but I just think it's gaining momentum. I think that it's becoming more of what Wilds wants, which is it's a metaphorical championship belt that if you beat a guy head-to-head, you take it from him, and he's out.
I like it.
And that's why I think Jared Goff I think on Monday morning, Jared Goff could be the favorite. I truly believe
What does he have to do? Because one touchdown, 175 yards is the favorite?
No. I think but I don't think he has to have the game Josh Allen had this weekend.
No.
I think if he has what has been a pretty typical Goff game during this run, over 225 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns, and they win and get to 13-1, and Josh doesn't have a wow game, maybe Josh does break his turnover streak and has a couple turnovers, they're all of a sudden 10-4, and the point I made earlier, I'll just quickly make again, people will make a case for Lamar that will hurt Josh. Because Lamar's numbers are much better than Josh's numbers. And if one team's 9-5 and the other team's just 10-4, and Lamar beat him 35-10, then I think I don't think that'll necessarily help Lamar as much as it'll hurt Josh. And then Jared Goff's sitting right there.
One little caveat to yours: post-game interview. One of these, which I always like Amon-Ra St. Brown. MVP right here.
Yeah.
And Jared
And
Goff, man. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Lions sweeping the awards. I think that you could see Coach of the Year.
Yep. We have no time for that. It's time now for a segment so hot. It's the reason why we don't let my children drink the eggnog at Grandma's house. It's Upset Alert. Quick update on the scoreboard. Brewers at 25.5. Me and Danny Parkins, who is no help, at 26.5, and Coach and Greg at 41.5.
Brew, there's no shame in being in last place given that you're the only one doing it on your own.
Thank you, Nick. I was just thinking that as I looked at the board.
Now, another way to look at it is Coach is carrying Greg. That Greg is an anchor around Coach's Upset Alert leg, but such is life.
I'm on your heels.
The ball's yours.
Greg is not going to like this week, but I'm going with the Chicago Bears over the Minnesota Vikings. That's
wow. What a take.
So Detroit,
Valhalla
Green
at
Bay.
Your boy Caleb?
Valhalla?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
What is? I don't get it.
It's a Viking.
It's a Viking term.
Valhalla is.
Valhalla, yeah.
I thought it was just.
Oh, Valhalla.
No, when they died.
It took me a minute to get it, Coach, but I like it.
I don't know. I thought it was a town. What,
you never seen Mad Max?
I don't like Mad Max.
It's where Vikings go when they go ascend.
Yeah, they go to Valhalla.
There's a restaurant.
Josh, can you look that up?
They're not as erudite as you.
I like it,
They haven't read the classics.
Holla at your boy.
Valhalla at your boy.
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So look, Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota, they lost by a combined 7 points. Okay, so Chicago lost against those 3 teams by a combined 7 points. They lost to Minnesota last time in overtime. Great end series for Caleb to be able to score the touchdown, get the 2-point conversion, they get the onside kick. He brings them down, they score again. That showed real growth. He was 34 for 47, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, 103 passer rating the last time they played against this vaunted defense. The Vikings are on a 6-game win streak, but none of the teams that they beat have a winning record in that 6 games. Okay, so there's that component. Next 3 games are against Seattle, Green Bay, and Detroit. Easily look past Chicago. Then finally, it's Monday Night Football. And everybody gets up for Monday Night Football. National TV.
Caleb's played well the last. He's got.
Oh yeah, can I? Yeah, I got my graphic. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. It's a pro Caleb graphic, so I reminded you.
Here they are. Here is the last month, and I know he took a little bit of a step back against San Francisco, but the numbers have been very good over the last month.
Matt Stafford struggled against.
This is one of those games where when you're looking over the horizon and you're thinking Chicago might be where we can relax. Not on Monday Night Football.
I don't hate that pick.
You hate it, Wilds. Wilds thinks Caleb's.
I like Brian Flores.
I
believe in Brian Flores.
He played well. He already played Brian Flores. Listen,
he only had 340 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He did go up to him after the game and be like, "Man, your scheme is great." That was different quarterback. Said it. Can I say one thing about Caleb before we move on? See if you agree with me. I want the Bears to win. Caleb at some point needs to throw an interception.
I agree with that.
It's too many. It's too many games in a row without an interception.
I think it's the record, right?
Are you mad that the last time
record.
when he had the 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 340 yards? Would that be okay?
No, that would be great. Okay. But I'm watching Caleb. I don't think he's having a historically great rookie season, obviously, but he has set the record by a lot now of consecutive passes by a rookie without an interception, which to me speaks to he's being a little too cautious with the ball.
Nick, they lost to 3 teams that are considered elite teams in the NFC by a combined 7 points.
And then in the last game, they got dog walked by a bad team. Okay. So I want to shake the snow globe a bit.
A lot of teams get dog walked by bad teams.
A lot of
it could happen in
get
Cleveland.
By Purdy.
Oh my God!
It could happen in Cleveland.
Yeah, it happens all the time. All right, my turn. Question.
Oh, wow.
For the
I
panel.
like this.
What excites a tomato can more than anything else?
Your hypothetical questions
What
are
excites? Let's try to figure
What
this out.
excites a tomato can?
Another tomato can.
Yes!
Got it!
Another tomato can. So my upset alert.
I know
He
it.
got it.
I figured it out.
If you're a tomato can, what in the world excites you? Seeing another
I'll tell
tomato
you what
can.
doesn't, a can opener. That freaks you out.
I was going to say can opener.
Yeah, no, that's wrong.
Well, the Carolina Panthers are no one's can opener.
No.
All right, they're just a tomato
He's
can.
going Cowboys.
So the Cowboys over the Carolina Panthers. And look,
way to go on a limb, bro.
That's the end. It's what it is.
it's worth 3, and they're 3-point
6
underdogs.
points. Yeah, it'd
so
be worth 6. Yeah.
I'm coming, Coach. I'm coming. All right, here we go. First of all, it's on the road. The Cowboys, and this speaks to something they got to get rid of at Jerry World. Maybe they feel too much pressure. Cowboys are 4-2 on the road.
Been on the road.
And check out who they've beaten on the road. Cleveland, which, that's a tough, game. Pittsburgh and Washington. So on the road, they're nobody's patsy. And I'm sure they are offended to the high heavens that the freaking Carolina Panthers are favored over them. You talk about an insult.
It's the first
You
time.
don't think Micah Parsons looking at this like, really? These dudes?
First time Carolina's been favored in 34 games. First time Bryce Young's been favored since
Since Alabama?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is that Alabama?
Yeah, he's never been favored as a pro. Why would he ever be a favorite?
I mean, wouldn't you use that with your players in a pregame speech or something all week or something?
You would.
The gambling line?
With Dallas, there's a lot of insults that they've taken that you'd like to see them respond to.
Well, look, and this probably will be their last win, and they may not be looking at it like that, but go out there, beat the freaking Carolina Panthers. All right. And Carolina, look, I know they've come close to winning some games.
Yeah.
But everybody comes close to beating the Chiefs. All right. And then it's true.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not,
Everybody doesn't come close beating Philly.
Yeah, but Philly was looking past, and Tampa Bay and Philly had big games coming up. You take Carolina lightly. Right. I mean, but the Cowboys aren't going to take them lightly because this is their big game left. And Rico Dowdle, is openly talking about running for 1,000 yards now. He's at 731.
He's got Tony Pollard in his sights.
He's run for 100 the last 2 weeks, each of the last 2 weeks. And Carolina can't stop the one. They're the worst run defense in the league. Rico Dowdle, and he knows they're looking at what's his name?
Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, Ashton Jeanty.
Jeanty is
so he is saying, you know what? I'm going to show them. We don't need Ashton Jeanty. Yeah. We got Rico Dowdle. So Cowboys, last win of the season.
Okay, maybe. It's time now, and this is going to be a great one for the Puxatawny Phil of football to make his upset alert. Live in a log.
Why do they call you Puxatawny?
Well, it's just that people think it's because you live in a log and covered with fur. Just a coincidence.
Why is it then?
Because I can predict the future. There you go.
Really?
You go to a Rolling Stones concert.
Sounds awful.
What, you don't like the Rolling
Really?
Stones? Mick Jagger?
I hear they put on a great
I wasn't
concert.
born in the
How old are
60s.
they?
Go ahead, sorry.
I hear.
It's so great. They need to play Satisfaction. Okay? They got to do it. You go to a Bruce Springsteen concert. Hey, here's some new stuff. Sure. Play Born in the USA. Okay?
Oh, wow.
You come and watch Upset Alert. I'm out here
say
doing
Glory
Danny Parkins stuff. I met Danny Parkins like 6 months ago. What am I doing? Play the hits. Mac Jones over the Jets.
God, dog it.
I'm back. Put a McCorkle in it. The Jets are done. Let's address the elephant in the room, though, okay? The guy's not playing great. Last 4 games. He does have 1 win, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 horrid interception. Then he had a 2-touchdown game. A little bit of a comeback there, maybe. Lions, 52-6. A lot of those, wow, the Lions are good offense, were thanks to the Jags defense. And then the Vikings, again, no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I get it. But what have I said all year when it comes to the Jags? Iron sharpens iron. He's been going up against these tough defenses. Wow. Titans actually have a great defense. Texans are great. Lions are great. Vikings are great.
I don't know if 16th in both categories qualifies as great. I think it's the definition of mediocre.
2 swords. Iron sharpens iron. And finally, we know the Jets. Aaron Rodgers threw for 300 yards last week. It had been 35 games. You think if I'm out golfing with you, I don't even golf. I'm up there, par 3, bang, hole in 1. You think the next hole? No chance. 0 chance. Everyone is still too high on the Jets. Aaron Rodgers has run out of rational excuses and has now just gone to the supernatural, talking about curses. Jags straight up over the Jets. Put a cork in it. It's something.
It's not.
You believe in Aaron Rodgers now?
You promised us Mac Jones was done on this show. We had a whole meeting about it.
Hey.
It went from an irrelevant player on a previously relevant team, but it was your favorite team, to an irrelevant backup on the least interesting team in the league.
Yeah.
And you're still putting it in the show.
He put the Panthers in the show.
He put the Cowboys in the show. Time now for Nick's picks. That's what you're supposed to do.
Sorry.
I can't even remember how many winning weeks in a row. What I do know is this. We're 61% against the spread. 2-1 last week. Giants getting 5. Never a doubt. No question about it. And thank you for having that field goal block. It would have been so awful to lose in overtime. Titans, 3-point favorites.
What happened there? What happened there?
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened there.
I'm back.
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened there. They allowed 10 points. Silly me thinking they could get to 13. They screwed up a 1st and goal from the 1. They screwed up the end of the game. Rams easy cover, getting 3.5. All right. Here's the deal, Coach. I was a little nervous about these picks.
Okay.
But they directly contradict the other side of the table. And they're as ice cold as it gets, so I couldn't feel better now. First one, Jets laying 3. I have faded the Jets all year. However, they're a bad team. They're 5-12 bad. They're not 3-14 bad. They're going to get at least 1, if not 2 more wins. And speaking of Mac Jones, if he does not cover the spread this week, and he won't, of the last 283 starting quarterbacks, he falls to 282nd against the spread as an underdog. Second worst of almost 300 guys. Again, America, we are running. It's like a Labor Day sale. You are running out of time to bet against Mac Jones. I know last week you did it, didn't work out.
Yeah.
Take those losses, double them this week. Jets laying just a field goal. Next one, Carolina. Lay the 3 points against Dallas. Dallas has given up. Drew is talking about Carolina's last few games. Here's what Carolina's done. They won a game, then they won another game. Then they lost on a field goal to the Chiefs, lost in overtime to Tampa, and lost on the dropped pass to Philadelphia. Now they get the Cowboys, who were weeping on the sideline last week. Carolina's celebrating, Cowboys crying. Mike McCarthy doesn't know if he has his job. Come on. And then last but not least, another 3-pointer, but this time I'm taking the dog. Listen, the Chargers are not better than the Bucs. And so I'm getting 3 points. I'm getting a team that can win. The Chargers can't break 20 points with any consistency. And the Chargers can't beat good teams. They can come close. They can't beat good teams. The Bucs are a good team. I don't typically love the East Coast team's going west, but it's not as bad as the West Coast team going east. 4 o'clock, still body clock, 1 o'clock. They can deal with it. It's no problem. Tampa Bay and Baker, this feels to me like a 20-17, 21-17 Bucs win. So there it is. Laying 3 points with the Jets, laying 3 points with the Panthers, getting 3 points with Bake Show. That's going to be our 5th straight winning weekend. We're going to pass Danny Parkins in the stupid Parkins Picks Rick Boff segment and be back to being FS1's #1 prognosticator.
Someone's going to be the #1 prognosticator.
It ain't going to be you, buddy. Go with Mac Jones. Coach, I'm rooting for you.
I went with Mac Jones, and then you showed a graphic that said Mac Jones beat you last week.
You did.
I would have floated the graphic.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.